Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Uh, Thank you so much for being on this journey with me to be an indie game developer. Just a bit of background for those of you who are new here. I'm just building a simple game, like a tapping game for a single player. Yeah, I'm basically a web developer by trade and uh, trying to create a HTML game of sorts. All right, so before we start prim and proper, I thought it would be fun to actually, start with a cat fact, since um, my avatar is a cat. I thought it would be fun to start with that. Okay, so here I was looking for cat facts. I'm not good with cat facts, but here I was looking for one. So apparently, if a cat puts their paw on your mouth, like kind of like telling you to keep quiet, it means they really, really, really like you. I didn't know that. So yeah, da 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 da, cat facts. Okay, I hope that brings joy to your day. It's past the weekend for me now, and I hope all of you have been enjoying your weekend as well, or enjoying your rest day. Yeah. So with that, let's begin, shall we? Okay. The last we kind of like stopped. We were actually we did kind of like completed the UI aspect of things. So here, let's see where we are at right now. Okay, so currently what we want to work on is we would like to work on the tapping handler and the score handling. Okay, so these two today. So basically these two, tap handler and score handler for today. Yep, so that's the objective today. I would like to work on the tap handler first, since it will make life easier for me to check on whether is the game working in the first place. Tapping using the mouse using on the button is kind of tedious. Yeah, so we'll work on that. So here, let me switch back to the VS Code. All right, so let's run the server first. Python 3 -m. So this is for those of you who are new here. This is how we run our server. Okay, there's other options you can run the server, but this is the common way that I am familiar with right now. So once it generates your the local host, you go back to your browser and you run. I'm gonna check to see that this works first. Okay, it looks like it's working. Okay, we'll just do a simple check to see that it's working. And we don't want to be doing our code and only finding out that this is not working. Okay, so you can see that last we left off, we actually put it down to 3 instead of 5 seconds. Is it 5 seconds? Okay, so you can see that the countdown is 2, 1. Okay, good. All right, so it's working. Here, so you can see that the score is there, but never mind. Okay, so you can see that just on the demonstration that I just did, when we wanted to add on to the score, we actually had to press on that. You can't really see, but there's a button there that you can click on. See that? The A button there. So we don't want to be clicking on that over and over again. We make that as an option, but we don't want that to be the only option. So the second option that we're gonna put in is actually key binding. So tap handler handles keyboard presses, as you can see. So we need to add in that keyboard taps as well. So in order for us to do that, we will need to add in event listeners. So since we're working with HTML, right? So we need event listeners to handle the keyboard presses. So so there is this thing called, if I'm not mistaken, called key down. So if you type in JavaScript, event listeners, I'm so sorry about my voice, key down, No, yeah, key down. So the previous game that I built, just in case if you don't know, I built another one which is a two-player game. You get the link is down below. You can check it out. The problem was that when we had two players, if two players were to be pressing on the keys on the same time, it will. Okay, so actually no. When you hold on to the key press, it will just add the score all the way up. So we don't want that happening. So what we need to do is we need to create such a kind of like a flag event of sorts, so that the the game registers proper. Like you have to press once in order to get one score. You can't hold down the key to get your scores. So we have to build it in that manner. Okay, so for this, I want to demonstrate to all of you if what happens when, like, you know, I add in that little thing where I said we will just like not have a kind of like a prevention method for people to just hold on to the key. Okay, here let me just type in a demonstration here. So you can see here I'm typing my code in here. This is not where you type in your code, for those of you who again are new here. This is just me trying out some codes. Okay, so here let's say we do a key down. We need to check what kind of key we are pressing. So we can do we'll do a console.log key events.key. So this will check what key we are currently pressing. So if you go back here, you can see that I'm holding on the character S and D. You can see that that's what happens if you don't have like a switch of sorts to tell the game that, hey, we don't want you to be holding on to the key. You want the player to press down and press back up. So we need two things. We need a key down and we need a key up. And yeah, so that's what we need. So in order for us to do that, we need some kind of a variable of sorts to let the system know that, yeah, this is what's happening right now. So what we can do is we built this thing called keys pressed. So this was the thing that I used previously in my code. And again, don't judge people who use their previous code. You know, sometimes you're coding and your brain just don't seem to work on that day, and that's when you will need to, you know, kind of like work on, you know, you have to refer back to your own code. So what is this? This is basically an object. Okay, you can learn more if you want to. This is JavaScript's object. So it will give you a kind of like a property and value, and yeah, you'll see later on. Yeah, so what we want is that every time we press this, we want the key to be registered as that key and to be flagged as true. So I'm gonna copy this again. Copy, Control C, Control V. So when this is pressed, what happens is that I want this to be registered. So then I will do it like that. So I will use the key value as the property name as well, and then I'll just put it as true. So when this is true, we don't want anything to happen to this. So okay, let me just okay, we'll just demonstrate this first. I was just thinking whether should I just do the whole thing first. Okay, so here if I were to press, say, the letter S, okay, now if I were to call in the keys pressed, you can see that now it says S is true, means to say that I have pressed the letter S. Yeah, so one thing that we can do is that now we have this same key down. Now that you can see that while I'm still pressing, the letter S still comes out, okay, while I'm still holding on to the key. So what we'll do is we will oh no, I wanted to, okay, we want the system to ignore our key press if that is true. So we can go, oh, if the keys are pressed, so if let's say keys pressed, okay, so we call it guy, and then we go event.key, then we can just tell it to ignore. One of the ways is we just tell it to return, okay, because it's a function, right? So this guy is a function, we will just come out, return will kick this code out of the function. Okay, that's what's gonna do. Okay, so if I go back here and if I have to do that again, so you can see that, oh, this does not work. Why? Am I missing anything? Event.key, keys pressed. Something is not right. Something is well, if it's true, it should return. It is true. I press the letter S. Okay. Let's see. What did I do wrong? I'm wondering. Keys pressed. Keys pressed. Did I do anything wrong? No. Or do I have to do it this way? Not too sure, but we'll see. Okay, we'll try. Oh, it's still there. That is so weird. Okay. Let's see. Okay, maybe, okay, this is very strange. Keys press. Okay, don't panic. We'll just copy this back again. And we'll refresh this just in case. Keys pressed is not defined. Okay, good. Var keys pressed. Okay, and try. Okay, there we go. Now it's working. Not too sure what was happening just now. I think there was some small minor bug. Okay, so what I did was that I refreshed the page and I kind of like pasted back the code. So you can see now I have to, oh, not here. I have to press when I'm holding on the letter S. It's not working anymore. Okay, that's because now keys pressed has the letter S inside. Oops. Oh no. Accidentally did that. Okay, so I cleared this, right? So now this is gone. And I call in key pressed. You can see that S is true. And so now I can't press the letter S anymore. Okay, unless I reset this to false. So what we do is we can also add the key up to reset the for it to change back to be able to be pressed. Okay, so let's go back to the VS Code. We will look into our JavaScript file, and do we have the handler for there we go, tab handler. So this is the tab handler. So every time we tap on something, then this will happen. This looks more like the score handler rather than the tab handler. But okay, but that's okay. So I think we'll separate the score handler and the tab handler now. So let's do function score handler. So this will handle the scores. So if you take a look back at our planning, so always refer back to your plans. Okay, we have tab handler and we have score handler. We want these two to be different. It's because if there's any issues, we can pinpoint exactly who was it that was causing the issues. So it is easier on you if you separate it. It's kind of a bit over engineered, I feel, but I think it's better that we do it this way. So back to the code. Let's go back to the code. Okay, so score handler will just take this, I guess. Okay, we'll need the if game active as well, just in case. So if game active, then we'll do player score. Here we want to ensure that the game is only when the game is active, then we will have the scores being added up. Okay, we don't want it to add on while the game is not running. If game time equals to click difficulty, I think this is under here as well. Okay, this is if game time is lesser than 10 seconds and user click equals to. Okay, so this this is the handler for the score as well, because we want the difficulty to add up, right? Then this will handle that. Maybe this should be the stitch handler, but never mind. For the tab handler, what we want is to put in the keys that we had just now. Okay, I'm going to just copy the code over from the browser. So in case you want to see, just taking this and moving over to here, just pasting it here. So this is for the key down. Then we will also have documents dot add event listener. So we will also do the key up. So this key up will allow us to press key up the whatever button that we were pressing. Okay, so this will help. Okay, so then we'll just take this and set it to false. So let's say if we did the letter S, then the letter S will change back to false. Okay, but we will also need this is the tab handler. Do we want to put the key here? Yes, we'll put the key here. So if, okay, and then we'll just put score handler here, because I'm just gonna be on ahead of time and just put it here. Okay, and oops. So if event.key is equals to the letter A, since we are using the letter A, or this is for small letters, event.key is equals to capital letter A. So either one of these, since we are using the letter A as our tapping mechanism, our tapping key, so that's what we'll be doing. So that is how we'll do it. Why is this events? Why is it depreciated? Okay, alright, I think okay, I think this is dangerous. Okay, because this is outside the add event listener scenario. We want this to actually be inside the scenario. So okay, so this is what it will do. Actually we want to set to true first. Okay, so what this does is when it gets within the key down scenario, if the key is A or capital letter A, then it will add on to the score. So let's take a look at this to make sure that this is working. Let's go back to our browser. We'll refresh. So it doesn't need the game start, I think. Oh, it does need the game start. Okay. All right. So let's start the game. Okay. It's not working. Why? Okay, that means if this is not working, I am tapping the letter A. None of the you can see that I'm pressing all other keys, nothing is coming up. Because I put the console.log, it should show me. Here I put the console.log, it should come out if I press on any keys. So we will need to see where tab handler has been has been placed in. Tab handler, handle tab UI. I think it was only placed in the button. So where is that button? Okay, so here you can see that we added the tab button only an add event listener, and only when we click on it, only then will it handle the click. So this is not good. This should be just score handler, because we don't really need anything here. Yeah, the tab handler should be a separate thing. Yeah, so I think we can just go tab handler. So this should work. So we basically just want to activate the tapping mechanism on once the browser is loaded. Yep. Okay. Go back to the browser and we'll refresh and see whether this will work. Okay. So let's try running the game. Still not working. Wonder why. Okay. Let's try again. Maybe. Very strange. Okay, let's take a look back at the code. We have tab handler. Okay, we'll just make sure that this is activated. Okay, so trying to see. I see. Perhaps I think what's going on is this. So when it's only when the game is active, only then will this be activated, you see. So because here currently the game is inactive, so even if we put this in, then it won't switch to this. Okay, actually the other thing that I've just thought of is I think this tab button can also go into the tab handler. So this will handle the A button. So we'll just put them together. Control X. Okay. Where is our tab handler again? So put this here. Okay, so we have the tab button here, and we have the key stuff here. So let's just label things. So this is allows press on visual button. Okay, then this allows key press on keyboard. Okay, so we'll know what these are. No. Okay, we will need the tab handler not to be here. This tab handler should be when the game starts. So start game. So this is where again your planning helps a lot. So if you take a look back at our planning, I think we did say that after the countdown timer begins, that's where the tab handler begins. So my bad on that. So we will have to actually do that. This is why you need to check your planning, and you must have good planning. So only after the countdown timer, and then the game timer will begin. I feel we can actually add the tab handler just before the game starts. So we'll give the players a bit of an edge right there. Not too sure whether that will work, but yeah, we'll just do that. Okay, get back to the, oh sorry, I wasn't showing the screen here. So here the tab handler is currently here under the countdown timer. We've shifted it from here where the DOM was. We shift it down to after the interval for the countdown has completed. Then we begin the tapping sequence. Okay, back to the browser. Okay, so we'll begin and tap. Oh no, key press is not defined. Oh, I forgot. Okay, so we know this works now. If I were to, oh no, I held on to it, but it still rotates there. Okay, never mind, that's okay. We need the most important thing. We forgot to declare keys pressed as a variable. So we'll put it as a, here, it's a global variable so that anyone can pick on it. Keys pressed. Okay, I just want to know why is it that when I press on the key, it didn't stop. This should be fine. I switch it back to true, switch it back to false. Okay, good. Here, save that. Yeah, this is saved. Go back to the browser. Let's try again. Okay, so I still have to lift up the key for it to work. Okay, so you can see that I'm still pressing on this, but the player score still it still comes up. Okay, but you can see that the score doesn't adds up. So I think that's fine. Okay, I think that's fine. But if you don't want that happening, we can actually remove. Okay, so when the game is active, we do this, and if it's not, we can actually tell it to remove the keys if you're not if you don't want that happening. But I think I won't bother with that first. Okay, for now, it's great that the button is now working. The key press is working. We can tap on the key and it's adding in the scores, which is good. Now the second part of it is we want the game time to actually increase as we tap on it. So that's the thing that we need to ensure. So less than 10, game time plus equals to 1. This has to be modified. We're working on the score handler now. So game time, I think we do have game time, current time. I think we'll use current time instead of game time. So if current time is lesser than game time, then yeah, we add on to it. Yeah. Current time. So in case you forgot, current time, we are now using current time to track how much time is left within the game time. I think that was because there was one of the previous things that we were working on. We had to separate them into two things. Okay, we will also okay, no, we don't want the game time to increase. We want the current time to increase. Okay, so let's take a look. Do we want to handle the countdown timer display? Yes, we want. Let's handle countdown timer display here. No, hold on. We don't want that. I think we handle loading bar. It's not the. We want it to handle loading bar, not that. Because the timer display is the countdown timer display. Sorry, brain fart moment right there. Okay, here. Let's look into it. and see to see whether does the time gets updated. It's a bit hard to see, but let's go. Okay, 1. No, it doesn't. So it's not as responsive, I'm guessing. Let's increase maybe the game time to 10 seconds. Maybe we will see a major difference. Go back here, go all the way up. So we'll put the game time back to 10 seconds. Okay, because we want to see that the time does go back up. And go. Okay, so we'll drop it maybe to... Oh. Oh, okay. Six. Oh wait, I think it's because I set the difficulty to 2. So you have to tap twice. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so that's good. Wow, this is good. Okay. So far this is great. Okay, that's awesome. Seems that it's working. The user interface is there, and yeah, that looks good. This is great. Okay, it's working. Let's check back the difficulty. Yeah, so click difficulty, I set it to 2. What is the click difficulty? Basically, when we kind of like you know, where was that? My goodness, where? Here. Okay, so when we want the difficulty level to increase as the player plays the game, right? So that's where we have the click difficulty. So we don't want it to be too easy. Oh, press 1, you get 1 second in return. So what we want is, as it goes up, okay, so maybe we let them like, okay, press once to, press once to kind of like get it up and stuff like that, and then after that, once you go to stage 2, you kind of have like a tap twice, and then stage 3 and so on and so forth. So we'll have to try with that. Yeah, I think, okay, I was thinking to, now that we have this, we can now work on the stage handler. The scoring seems to be okay, the tapping seems to be okay. So let's try working on the stage handler, which helps with the stage difficulty. So I think the stage difficulty, I would like, what I wanted to do was actually, this will have like, okay, so maybe the first 10 scores, then the first 30 scores, then yeah, you get what I'm trying to say, right? So as they reach those milestones, that's where the click difficulty will increase by 1, I will guess, for now. So for now, let's just put that there. So we'll just do some random stuff. Yeah, I'm not too sure whether this will even work, but let's try. So 30, 50, maybe 80. I'm not too sure. Not even sure if people are able to go that 120. So for the first 10 clicks, you will have this difficulty, 30 clicks that, 50 that, 80, 120. So let's try this out. So we want the stage handler to increase as it goes. How do we do this? Let me think a while. So in my planning, I didn't add on to this in my planning. Wait, I just realized something. My mouth isn't moving. Okay, so in my planning, I don't think I did add where exactly the stage handler is supposed to go. So I'm thinking every time, maybe every time you maybe this should be under either tap handler or score handler. So what we do is we want it to check Okay, where exactly is the player currently right now? I'm guessing we'll just embed this inside score handler. So this sorry, not this guy. We'll just have, oh, actually, I can just, I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Okay. Uh, uh, okay. So, we'll embed this within score handler. Oh, my ears are plugged now. Okay, so as we check for score, then it will check for the stage involved as well. I think that will only be right. I feel it feels right that way. I guess. Hold on, let me I'll get my ears unplugged. Oh man. Okay. Here. So we'll try. Let's go back to our code. For the code wise. So every time we tap, we want the stage handler to be checked. Okay. Is this ideal? No, not really. If there's a better way, I'll probably like some suggestions. Okay, oops, log. So just putting here to ensure that the stage handler is being called. So every time you click on it, stage handler, we want them to check. Okay, if we need to find to see if the score is in one of these. I was thinking of using .find, but I don't think that will work. We will need to find, because that will ask for the exact. So we'll need to, oh man, I did not think of this. So what we need is, we need to check, oh, is the score between 10 and 30. If it is, then it hasn't, like, it has passed 10, so then we'll increase by 1. And if it hasn't passed 30, then it shouldn't like be like 3 taps or something like that. And so we will need to think about this. What is the best way? There's some algorithm that you can use to check this. It's useless to just crack our brains. We'll go search it up. Okay. JS array. Find if number is between okay. So this is the benefit of the internet. We can just check it out. Okay, my brain isn't like braining today. So yeah, I was thinking of filter as well, but I couldn't think of how we should how we should have like use a filter. Yeah, let's thank this user for the answer, Mr. Wei. I'm sorry for putting as anyway, Mr. Wei. Okay, let's so we want to check. This is between it. Okay, rid of filter. Wait, hold on. Item is between. Oh no, but this is. Oh, this is checking the lower and upper limit like that. We could use filter to see. Is the number between 2 arrays? Okay, maybe we need to ask it that way. Number is between 2 array values. We need the other way around. We don't want like we have 2 numbers outside and we want to find if it's within the array. which numbers the array is in between. We want to see number is within two values in JS. What's this? Let's take a look. No. Okay, so within the min and max. So we have min and max like that. Oh man, this is why I need to recap my algorithm a bit. So what's happening if you are you're wondering what exactly am I trying to do? So this is what I'm trying to do. So currently we have, oh man, we have an array. So let me just zoom this out. So currently we have an array, right? So we have an array. So an array is just a box of values. So let's say we have 10, 20, and 30. Now, the problem is the solution that we have given is that they have an outside value. Means to say, like if let's say I have 5 and say 7, then I want to search whether any of these numbers are between these. Okay, but I do not want that. What I want is I have an outside value that I have. So for example, 5. And this 5, I want to know whether 5 is greater than this or in between 10 and 20. You know, that kind of thing. So let me crack my brain a little. Okay, so how do we go about doing this? We could just okay, this is just me brainstorming out there. I've not used my brain for very long. Life of an unemployed person. Here you can see that what we can do is we can just go, hey, you know what, let's just pick this number first and we'll check, are you smaller than this? If you are smaller, then okay, then say smaller. If it's smaller, and then okay, then we'll just like we will ignore. Okay, and if it's larger, then it will, if it's larger than this, then it will check if this is the, yeah, you okay, let me just, I think I can do better using this. Say we have like that. Let's change this to a color. Maybe a grading color looks nice. Ta-da! Okay. Why did I pick this? But never mind. Okay, so here, let's say we have a number. I would like these text to be black. Don't give me white. Oi. What's happening? No, I don't want a black color fonts. Nobody's able to see that. Okay. So let's say we have a number here. We have a number, right? Say the number is 5. Okay, we want to check against check against array. Okay, then check against array. Once it checks against array, it will ask the question, bigger or smaller? Oops, not bugger. Bigger or smaller than current index. Index means the location of that value. Okay, then if it's bigger, why did I keep bigger? No, bigger. It will do that. If it's smaller, then it will do another thing. So if it's smaller, it will just ignore. This is just like that. It will ignore and then continue program. Then if it's bigger, it will check to see. Then it will check, is it bigger than current the next index? Yeah, then it will just repeat the process over and over again. Okay, so this no, if it's not bigger than the next index, then it will just it will add +1 difficulty, I guess. Add +1 difficulty. and then it will continue the program. Actually, now that I think about it, now I'm doing this. We don't have to do that. Yeah, it's not add +1 if we, okay, never mind, we'll just do that. Then we will just continue. Is it bigger than the next index? If it's yes, then is it bigger than the next index? What do we want it to do? Then it will shift to the next index. Shift to next index. And then it will go back all the way up here. Don't know if this makes sense, but it makes sense to me. Okay. So for example, let's see. Let's branch this out, and just to let people see what is the index we're talking about. So let's say we have the index 10, 20, and 30. Okay, so this is our index 10, 20, 30. Sorry, our arrays. So we'll have the number 5, then we'll check against the array. This is our array. So 10, 20, 30. Is it bigger or smaller than current index? If it's smaller, then it will ignore and continue the program. If let's say we have the number say 10, so bigger or smaller equals to, okay, so if it's smaller or equals to, then it will still remain. So we still need to involve equals, smaller, and or equals. Okay, so if it's let's say 10 and it checks 10, then if it's small or equals to, then it will still ignore. If let's say we have the number 11, okay, we have the number 11. I don't think you can see this. If we have the number 11, okay, then if it checks against the array, it's bigger than 10. So it's bigger. So now currently we are at index 0 here on the 10. Let me just get the pen. So so it's now here, right, at the number 10. So it's definitely larger than 10. So it will check onto, it will say it was bigger than 10. So then is it bigger than the next one? No. Then we'll just add the difficulty and we continue the program. The other thing that I want to do is this. So the difficulty will also we will also want to involve. Let's go back to the code. So one of the things is that we need to track which difficulty it is currently at right now. So we do have, so we have a stage here. So then we will just like, oh, okay, we will just use that as the, okay, current, where on the index is it currently on. So instead of this calling being stage, I'll call it index stage. This will make more sense when you learn a little bit of programming. So index stage means usually in arrays we start with the number 0 instead of 1. So that's why I'm putting as 0. So we'll just check. Where is it? This will make the handling of the stages easier. Okay, so we'll check. We need to check if what was it? Current score, or is it player score? Player score? Yeah, player score. If player score, where is it? Player score, player score. I scroll down too fast and I'm lost. Okay, here, player score. Player score. If player score is lesser than current index, so stage index, stage difficulty, and stage index. Okay, if it's smaller, then it'll just, you know what, return. Okay, then after that we'll say else if, so I want it to be like this. Okay, player score is player score is larger than the stage difficulty, what we'll do is we will add the stage index plus equals 1. Okay, then after that we will have also stage difficult. No, what was that? Okay, we will also need to add the click difficulty plus equals to 1. Okay, so okay, we will also need to reset this on end game. So we'll just do it here. I think it's good to just update it here, since we just need to update. Maybe we should. Okay, never mind. I was thinking we should get a function to reset everything that we have. I think that will help a lot in the long run. Maybe we'll do it now. We'll do reset all. Actually, the end game is kind of like a reset all anyway. Yeah, we'll just put it here. So what was that? Stage difficulty, okay, is equals to 0, and then we'll do what's that? Click difficulty is equals to 2. Actually, we'll put it back to 1. Let's not kill our players. Okay, click difficulty, we'll set it back to 1. Okay. This should work, hopefully. There shouldn't be any much issue, I guess. Okay, click difficulty plus equals to 1. Okay, so let's revise this again. Player score. If player score is still lower than 10, then just ignore. If the player score is bigger than 10, increase this, increase click difficulty. And then it will check for this. If it's still slow, then it will just do this. Okay. Actually, we forgot. It should be like that. Smaller or equals to. Then we'll do that. Okay, let's try this out. Go back to our browser. Hopefully this works. Let's start the game. Okay, so I'm just going to let it go down. Yep. Stage index is not defined. Why? Stage index, stage index, stage index, stage. Oh, it's index stage. Oops. I got it the other way around. Index stage, index stage. Where was it? Okay, there we go. Go back to, oops, sorry, I was just changing the code. So it was stage index instead of index stage. So that's why we need to always kind of like remember what did we tap, what do we write for our variables. Okay, so here let's go back to the browser. Okay, let's refresh and let's start the game and go. Okay, so when we tap once, increase once. Okay, good. So we'll see whether does it go 9, 10. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so you can see there's something that's bugging out. You can see that it didn't reach. Okay, the stage handler didn't properly handle the increase in difficulty. What's going on, I wonder. Okay, so Okay, let's see. Click difficulty plus. Maybe let's check make sure that it does update the index. Okay, stage, index stage. So we need to see whether this is working, the index stage, if it's working. Okay, let's try again. Okay, you can see that stage index is still 0. It's 9, 10. We will need to track how many tabs we need to. Yeah, we need to check how many clicks does the player need to actually click on. Wow, I can actually click more than 120. So we'll need to increase the difficulty a lot more. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so it gets stuck there. So we will need more. Apparently, we will need more click. You can see that I can tap 195 times. So that's just a bit. So we'll need more stages. I have this feeling that actually the click difficulty does increase as well. It's just that you don't see it as much. Maybe we'll need to double it. Perhaps, I'm not too sure. Because it feels very too easy for me. Yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry. So here I'm just I'm going to see whether how much click difficulty whether the click difficulty does get updated. So we'll need to see that. Back to here, let's refresh and see. And go. Okay, so the click difficulty, does it increase? Yes. Okay, it does. Wait. Something strange is going on. I think I need to click on this in order for this to work properly. It's not somehow it's broken. The timer is broken. Why? The timer is broken all of a sudden. Okay, let's try again. If I press 1, yeah, it does go up. Okay, if I spam it somehow... Okay, if I spam it somehow, it doesn't work anymore. That is very strange. So you can see that here, if I do it slowly... If I were to do it slowly... Oh, it's broken now. What's going on? Okay, so the index stage did not get reset. Neither did the click. Okay, click difficulty did. Okay, so we need to update index stage, player score. Let's take a look. So on, let's see, game over, player score. So stage difficulty 0, index, yeah, index stage is equals to 0. I'm trying to figure out why when I spam the button, the timer gets broken as well. So we'll have to figure that out as well. So let's try. Our our timer is broken. No, what's happening? What is happening? No. So I tap on this. Okay, this works now. Okay, let's do up till 10. Okay, then this will require us to do 2 taps. Huh. 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 What is going on? This is strange. It was working just now, but it's not working right now. So we have the user clicks into here. Then we will need to check the user clicks. Or was it the game time? I think the game time has no limits. So that's why game oh no, but we did handle it here. Maybe if we spam it too much, then this happens, I think. Then, you know, because it goes over the top, right? Then it doesn't. Is current time more than 0 and less than? Maybe we'll just do this and less than. And current time is less than or equals to game time. So I think this should help. I think that's what's happening. No, actually we don't need this here. This is just subtracting it. So what's happening is, I think when tapping, right, we need to only allow the tapping to happen when so adding of the time should only happen. Where is the time? So it should only happens current time is lesser than, oh yeah, but it's here. If current time is lesser than game time, then it should, yeah, this should handle that as well. I'm wondering what's happening here. It's current time lesser than game time, then only then can you add the current time. What is happening? Current time lesser than. Okay, we'll just maybe we'll just keep track on this. We'll have to check the current time again. We'll just do this and see for ourselves what's happening. So this is one of the difficulties of development. You'll never know what kind of issues you'll come across. So you can see now currently we're having difficulty with just now the scoring was fine. Now all of a sudden it's giving issues. So you can see that one tab is fine. And now we'll go to second stage. So if we do slow taps, it's fine. Okay, you can see that 30 now. Okay, so but what if we spam? Does it? Well, it's okay now again. Oh, okay, so after index stage 5, it can't handle. So I think the other issue would be that okay, so now I know what's happening. Okay, it's not about the increase in score or time, it's more of Here, once it reaches a certain point, it's not able to calculate for us. It ended at index stage 5. So if it's index stage 5, then so it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's no index stage 5. So we'll need to increase the difficulty. We'll have to have more difficulty levels. So either we kind of like, okay, have more scores, like space out the scores, or we kind of like add more numbers to it. I think we'll do both. We'll increase this to maybe 50, and then this 50 will move this to, so the gap is about 40. Here to here is about 40. How about we double and minus? We'll just, in case we forget, double and minus 10. So double of this is 20. Double, no, times 2 minus 10 seems a bit odd, because if we times 2 here, it's 100, and minus, yeah, that's not how we go. Maybe okay, maybe not. How about we my brain, come and wake me up. Maybe we'll just add 40 plus 10. So if add, so this would be 100 at 40 plus 10. I'm just doing an arbitrary number. That's what I'm doing. Add 40. What am I doing? I mean, it's just add 50. What am I doing? So add 50. We'll just add 50. Add 50. Okay, so here we'll just go, this will be 60. And then 60 plus 50 is 110. 110, this is 160, and then this would be 160, 210, I guess. 6, yeah, it's 210. So we'll just maybe go that, and this will be 260, I guess. But this seems quite linear. We want this to be more of a logarithmic scale. Okay, you know what? Let's not brain this to ourselves. Let's outsource our brain. Logarithmic increase for score. There we go. Haha, someone else is had the same idea. So according to them, what is he asking for actually? Okay, okay, sorry, I was reading this. Not too sure why it didn't appear, but here, I was just reading this. So basically, he's just like, I think this guy just wants to implement better logarithmic scaling for this, but it's not what we need. I just want growth rates. We don't need all this. This is a bit too cheap for our use case. I just need a like a scale of sorts that I can work with. I'm very bad at maths, as you can see. Okay, we'll just try something random. Maybe like increase in 10, I guess. Let's go back here. So what we can do, maybe add 50, and then maybe and then this at 60, 70 and stuff like that. I think that will scale the thing at 50. Then at 60, I don't know what to call it then. Okay, so here we add 50 here, and then we'll add 60 here, so this 120. And then 120, this should be 190. 190, increase 190. So this is 50, 60, 70, 80. 190 plus 80 is, I need a calculator. What was the number? 190 plus 80 is 270. So this is 270. 270 plus 90, we have 360. Okay, 360, and then we have 460. I think this should be it. Yeah, and then 460 plus 110 is 570. We're just going to scale this up as much as we can. Then plus 120 is 690. So there are some people out there who will break the game, so we're just adding more numbers to it. 820. Okay, if I can do it, I think majority of the people can tap that much. So let's try this out. Go back to our browser and let's go. Okay, so let's tap. Hey, this guy ain't working. What's going on? So I think that the tab is a bit too much for the browser. You can see that if I click too fast, it will also affect the browser as well. You see that? Okay, so we need to solve that. I have to find out why this is happening. So if I spam it, it kind of like doesn't want to play nice. But if I start slow, see that? If I spam click, it doesn't work anymore. Okay, what's happening? I'm not too sure. Okay, you see that we're only at index stage 1 and I've already broken the game. Okay, so this is one of the major things that we have to look into. But so far, if we were to tap it slowly, okay, let's take a look again. If we were to tap it slowly, you can see that if we tap it slowly, oh, I broke it. Wait, we have to refresh. Not too sure who is causing this. Okay, because I think it's not fast enough to see the switching between A and the true and false values maybe. So if I click it like that, it's still broken. Okay, never mind. We'll figure this out on my downtime. I'll just look at it alone, and once I figure it out, I will let you guys know. I think it's a good time to stop for now. Don't want to be recording too long on this. Okay, so again, thank you so much for dropping by and see how I develop my code. I hope you learned something out of this and things like that. Okay, so again, thank you once again, and I hope to see you in the next one. Please drop a like and subscribe if you think that you want to see my journey through this. So yep, once again, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it really. See ya.